Well, hello everybody. It is the 11th of May and I've been very quiet for the last week or so, and that is with good reason. I really needed to get the strawberries done, and as you can see here, I've got bed 2 in. The ground was incredibly hard, but I cleared the area, dug out all the strawberries, filled it in, replanted the strawberries. You can see they're all drooping at the moment. It's I suppose the shock of being transplanted. So I'm watering them twice a day at the moment, once in the morning and once in the evening, and a lot of them have started standing up again, so just watering them until they've settled in. You can see how many strawberries. I tried to dig them up in big clumps like that with all of their soil intact, so they were probably out to the ground like this for about a day. Now these are all the ones I've got left over, just way too many for what I need, as well as this container full, well, not full anymore, but still quite a lot of good ones left in there, and I water that container as well. See, they actually look better than the ones in the bed, and then I've still got that container full as well. I've spoken to my kids' school and I've said, do they want some strawberry plants? So I'm going to take them that container and help them plant it in their little allotment beds at school, so they can have some strawberries. I've also given some to neighbours and friends, and etc, etc. So I need to get nets on them because a lot of the fruit has set already. So unfortunately the hoops I used last year, if you remember, this bed was twice as wide, or almost twice as wide, so these hoops were cut and designed for the width of that bed, so they are incredibly high at the moment, but I don't really want to cut my pipes to a shorter length just for this year, because in the autumn I will redo that bed as well to be the same as these. So for now it's just going to have to be a very high hoop net. So I will water these again in a minute, and then as you can see I have hammered, if I can get it out, my rebar in place. It's probably about 1.5 foot underground and 1 foot sticking up, and then my pipe just slots over it like that, and then I've got normal green netting that I will just span over it really. So there's a clump here that's not going to be covered, and they're just going to have to fend for themselves for this year. You can see here little strawberry already. So yeah, the other thing I've done in this bed is I've weeded, and as I'm sat here I can see 3 new, 1 dandelion and 2 clumps of grass that I missed. But I weeded in there, dug it all up, because from memory last year, once the net was up, it was incredibly hard getting in there and weeding. So I've done all of it beforehand, and then if more weeds come up in there, then tough. They'll just have to compete with the strawberries. So yeah, so the next step is to get the net up. I'll show you when that's done. Other jobs going on the allotment today is, in the last 10 days with the rain and shine that we've had, the weeds have grown by about 1 foot. I also sprayed some areas like here, which is my sort of seating area when it's not this messy, and I think my weed killer is off because it's done absolutely nothing. So so I've instructed Adam to get the strimmer out today, and I've given him priority areas where to start. So so he's up there strimming the weeds down to manageable level, and then I will go and spray them again. The other thing he's done for me today is, oops, it's not there. Oh, okay. Yes, I remember now. He is fitting the automatic window opener, but we were struggling with it a little bit, and it had to be in the fridge for half an hour. And by the time we finished struggling, the thing had warmed up again, so we couldn't fit it. So I remember now we're going to take it back to the fridge, put it in for half an hour, and then quickly come and fit it at the end. I'm going to go and walk past Adam, and I'll switch you off for a minute because I want to show you what the kids are doing right down at the bottom. Oh, one more thing. I've removed all of the tyres from in here, overgrown weed city, and Adam's going to strim this for me in a minute. So the tyres all need to move down to where he's strimming at the moment. So see you again in a minute. Okay, so pardon the noise, but the other thing that the kids have been doing for me today, well, first of all, Adam put some spaces in there for me because I've got 3 different kinds of raspberries that has to go in the first 3, and I've decided my tayberry is going to go there. So just so I can tell which one's which. So the kids have been painting it for me today, haven't you two?
Yeah.
So just to preserve the wood a little bit more. So they're doing coat number 1, and we'll probably do another coat before I start filling it up. So that's another job well done. Well done, you two.
Thanks.
Look at the state of Ryan. Trust you to get that dirty.
Sorry, we did get a bit muddy.
Well, not muddy, covered in paint. I'm gonna have to go and hose you two down in a minute. Anyway, so thank you, you two.
It's okay.
Job well done. Okay?
Thank you.
So today I have decided to take the plunge. It is March the 14th, and I've looked at the weather forecast, and I think, fingers crossed, that we've had it for our frosts for this year. So the next 2 weeks the temperatures at night is not supposed to get lower than about 8 or 9. So let's get planting. So we're in bed 3. There's the potatoes, onions, bed 3, the one which I've half cleared. So bed 3, and I'm going to start with the Pak Choi's, this half of the bed, starting from the fence coming this way. I've also got a few spinach plants which are supposed to be that side of the bed. I don't know if I'm going to get to them today because I've got about half an hour before I've got to pick up the kids. And I've also got some lettuce which I bought from the garden centre because mine isn't this big yet. Let me just have a look and see what it is. Oh, what have we got? Little gems. So I've got some little gem lettuces, fairly healthy, fairly decent size, so they're going to be going in as well today. So let's get going. I've got a wheelbarrow full of compost here, which is half of the black council stuff, and then underneath here I've got some of my own stuff which I'm just going to mix it through, dig it into that bed quickly, and then I'll get planting. Okay, that's loosely dug in. I've broken down some of the bigger clumps, but it's by no means a fine tilth. I'm always so envious of everybody else's fine tilth. I never do seem to get mine to that consistency, but oh well. I suppose the longer I work the plot and the more compost and things I work in, the better it'll get. So give me a couple of years and I might get there. So I'm going to start with the Pak Choi on that side, and I think I've probably got enough for a couple of rows. I'm going to be leaving, no, I won't leave some space. I'll put the lettuces in here, but I'm going to be re-sowing some more Pak Choi straight away so that I can get some successional sowing and growing going on. So let me get on with it. Okay, so that's 2 rows of Pak Choi, 2 rows of little gems. I've planted them quite close together because I only want them to be small. So I've put eggshells all around them, and Alyssa's just going to quickly water them in for us. So let's just start on the Pak Choi's, each one a nice drink. Just as far as you can reach. I'll do the back ones. Okay, come back across.
I don't have very much left.
That's fine, we'll go get some more. Okay, well, we're going to leave you there and we'll see you at the next job. Okay, so the last job for today, I just wanted to quickly run over this area with the hoe just to sort of kill all of the little weeds that are coming up. And look what I found. All of these, and there are loads of them. There's some there in between the sweet corns, all of them coming up. Can you recognize them? They are something of the pumpkin variety. So, you know, you can recognize them by the leaves. So, I've had a bit of a think, how did they get here? And I've come to the conclusion that it is my compost bin. Remember, I put some of my own compost that I made from last year's bin into this area, and I reckon the seeds survived. And the only seeds that I put in that compost bin of the pumpkin variety last year was butternut squash. So I reckon these are all butternut squash plants coming up. Now, I haven't got space to plant this many because I've got 7 of them growing in the greenhouse at the moment, but I also feel too bad to just dig them up and chuck them away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up, say, 8 of them, pot them on, put them in the greenhouse, and then the rest I'll just put back in the compost. So and then quickly run over this area with a hoe ready to plant. So back to you in a minute. So there we go. I've picked out the 8 strongest looking ones. The rest I'll dig up. So next up, I've bought some French marigolds from a local garden centre because the germination on mine was so poor that I just thought it was easier to buy some than to resow them yet again, because if it was dodgy seeds, then of course you'll have a problem again, and then it might be too late for me to get them in. So I've just decided to buy some. So they got a little bit dry the last couple of days, so I've given them a good water, and I'm just going to put a row at the front of this bed. So there we go. butternut squash plants, rogue butternut squash plants, a row of French marigolds, and then in the back there I've got some other flower seedlings that I bought that I'm just going to stick in there. So I'll show you when I'm done. So there we go. I have planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows of 3 stalks. I was going to tell you the variety off the label, but I've lost the label. So it's one of those trays of plugs that you can buy from a garden centre. So I bought one of those and I've stuck them in there. Marigolds at the front, and the sweet peas are really doing well. They're starting to climb now. I'm still helping them here and there, but most of them have attached now. If you remember, they were struggling to catch hold of the bottom string, which is there. So they've come up to the next rung now. So they're roaring away. So happy with that. I've watered it all in well, and I'll water them over the next 2 or 3 days properly to make sure they're established. So I think that is it for this episode. First of the flower seedlings have gone in. It's probably not where I would have planned to put the stalks, but as you know, my flower beds aren't ready yet because it's still a jungle in there. So for now they'll go here, and as you can see, I've got more than half of a tray of these still left, so I will probably take them home and stick them in the borders at home. So that's it from me for today. Hope you guys are having a really good growing season, and everything is in full swing now, isn't it? So raring to go. So have a lovely rest of the week, and then I will speak to you again soon. Bye.